No one could have known it then, but when Daytona International Speedway opened in 1959, it marked the beginning of a new era in American motorsport. As a replacement for the old beach road course a few miles to the east, the opening of the high-bank 2.5-mile Florida Tri-Oval represented the leading edge of a wave of construction of big paved speed palaces. Before Daytona, Indianapolis was the only American oval track longer than 1.25 miles, and most racing took place on dirt ovals 1 mile or less in length. From the very first Daytona 500, won by Lee Petty in a 3-way photo finish, those high banks proved a favorable venue for wide-open stock car racing. Daytona kicked off the growth of NASCAR as we know it today. Daytona International Speedway's infrastructure has grown and changed to such a degree that it would be almost unrecognizable today to someone who hasn't seen it over the last 2 decades. An amazing motorsports facility, but one thing hasn't changed over the past 6 decades. No driver can consider his or her career complete without notching a victory at Daytona. From Dale Earnhardt, who captured the 500 in 1998 after coming so close so many times, to 14-year-old kart racers whose racing resumes are just beginning. A victory at Daytona is a mark of distinction. Tonight, it's the IROC Challenge Series Daytona 200. And it's next on IROC TV. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the virtual Daytona International Speedway for race number 1 of the IROC Challenge Series. We had the shootout last week, which kind of served as a qualifying session, so to speak, for tonight's event. No qualifying session tonight. It'll be set up by the finishing order last week. Those that did not make the shootout will start in order at the rear of the field. Let's take a look at the race details for tonight. 80 laps to get it done, 200 miles, of course. 78-degree ambient temperature, 56% humidity. Partly cloudy skies, a very slight breeze at 2 miles per hour. Track temperature falling. It's 102 degrees. It was as high as 112 early on in the practice session. With that said, let's go down trackside, see where everyone's lined out in qualifying. Practice, that is. Fastest so far, it is the number 82 with Stan Carnathan. His best lap of 45.52. Second quick is the 88 of Jason Nilges. Josh Funkhauser, Chris Wally, Jeff No, the top 5. Times all pretty close together here, of course, in the 45s. That's going to be all drafting speeds. Going to be very much akin to what you're going to see in race trim here tonight. As we watch Brian McCann here get through turn 4, you can really see how bumpy this old layout. Yes, I forgot to mention, yes, we are at Daytona, but we are on the pre-repave layout, so lots of bumps to contend with. Handling going to be a premium here, especially with this Gen 4 Cup car that they have to work with. Should be an exciting race to watch for certain here tonight. Kevin McCann in the number 33. Kevin 14th quick currently on the board, a 45.84. Again, just over 0.3 off the best time of the day. You see how tight these drafting times can be. Mike Hoach in the 00. Taking a shortcut through the grass. Ryan Honeycutt. It's 23rd quick on the board. Again, not really going to make too much of a difference as far as lap times are concerned here in this session, as it does tick down to 0. A little play time here at the end of practice. Again, we're not dealing with real cars here. You can beat and bang all you want. So with that, we're going to jump right into the race session. So let's get a look at our starting grid for tonight's Daytona 200. On the pole position, it's going to be the 33 of Kevin McCann. Starting in the second spot, Garrett Johnston. Row number 2, it's the 18 of Ryan Honeycutt and Brian McCann. Adam Johnson's going to start in the 5th spot. 6th goes to Matt Kopp. Brandon Mefford, the number 83, he'll start in the 7th position. Mike Koch, the 00, will start 8th. Jeff No in the 9th position. 10th goes to Tim Schofield. Stan Carnathan, the number 82, he'll start 11th. Neil Quick rolls from the 12th position in the familiar number 2 machine. Starting 13th, it's Brother Cook in the 23. Jaden Hopp in the 4 starts in the 14th position. Trevor Quick starting 15th. Doug Wysocki in the number 34 starts 16th. 17th starter, it's the 35 of Larry Bruner. Jason Nilges, I'm working on it. He even told me how to say it. Just got to get a rhythm on that one. He'll start 18th. Doug Thomas, the 47, starts 19th. 20th goes to John Osborne, the 44. Josh Braley, the number 28, starts 21st. 22nd starter, it's Josh Funkhauser, the number 81. Mike McDonald, the 16, starts 23rd. Zach Roethlisberger, the number 93. Wonder if he's related to Big Ben. We'll find out, I guess. He'll start 24th. Chris Wally, the number 51, rolls 25th. With William Tyndall, the number 62, starting, it's a mirror image, starting 26th. That's your starting lineup for tonight's Daytona 200, the IROC Challenge Series. First official points race of the season. Field rolling here on their first of, only one pace lap. They're working turn 2 right now, trying to get lined up here behind the official iRacing pace car. Before we get under the green flag here, we'll see if they can get organized here and situated where they need to be before we take that green flag. May go an extra lap, we'll see. Field into turns 3 and 4. Looks like they might get this one going here. Pace car pulls off. We're going to get a green flag here. Kevin McCann leads them down. The green waves. We're underway from Daytona. Bad start for the 18. Checks up that bottom line. Kevin McCann with no draft help right off the bat. That's not going to be great, but Brian McCann looks like he's going to slot in behind brother Kevin. Don't know if that was planned or not, but if it was a good plan. Back to start finish, lap 1 in the books. Kevin McCann leads that lap. Brother Brian in tow, the 2nd position. Honeycutt 3rd, Mefford 4th, and No in the 5th position as they work through turns 1 and 2. Really see how bumpy this place is. Trying to keep those cars pinned to the bottom line there. Not the easiest thing to accomplish. Top 4 cars in single file here as the 5th place machine of Jeff No steps out of line, looks to the high side, seeing if someone's going to take the lead and follow him up there. No one going with him just now. He does have some company on the rear view mirror. That's Garrett Johnston, the number 32 machine, to his back door. Another car going up topside. That's the 82 of Stan Carnathan. Real quick topside in behind the 55 machine of Jeff No. Oh, we got trouble off turn 4. The 23 is around. Contact made. Big time wreck. I think that might have been Cook Quick. Indeed it is. Slides up into the tri-oval. Couple drivers collect the number 23 of Cook Quick, but it looks like he's still going to drive away from this one. First caution of the day, only 4 laps in. Well, let's see if we can get a look and see exactly what happened. We saw it kind of live here with Cook Quick out of turn 4. Contact. Maybe slide up in front of, I think that might have been the 12. I have to get a different angle on it here just to be sure. Cook definitely sliding up the racetrack in front of traffic. The 47 and the 22 get involved. Yeah, it was indeed the 12. He slides up in front of. Really not a whole lot the 12 can do there to avoid Cook Quick. The 12 being Tim Schofield. Interestingly enough, not a whole lot of damage that I can see on the 23, considering how hard of an impact he took. In fact, I don't see any damage at all. We'll have to dig deeper into that. I'm not sure if maybe they've got damage turned off inadvertently. I don't think that would be the intent. But with that, pace car lights are on, which means we're under our first caution. We're going to step aside, get a quick break out of the way. We'll be back after this. Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop-lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics, LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens, UMP Modified and Silver Crown driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws late model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook.
R&R Racewear, your source to all custom racewear apparel needs, and home to iRacing apparel. Check it out today at rnrracewear.com.
Checkered flag. Contact and Brian Rose wins it. A photo finish at the line. Oh, we got a wreck. Will Hewitt's through the trial for the final time, and oh, they're wrecking. Big trouble. Vincent Short sneaks through, and I think Short. Back at Daytona International Speedway for race number 1 of the IROC Challenge Series, the Daytona 200. Wrapping up our first caution of the day involving Cook Quick, Tim Schofield, and others. Matt Kopp, I think, involved in that, as well as the 47 machine. That's Doug Thomas. Pace car lights are off, so we're going to go racing once again here the next time by on the 1 to go. Your leaders are going to be Kevin McCann, Brian McCann on the front row. Row number 2, it's going to be Ryan Honeycutt, Jeff No, then Neil Quick, Brandon Mefford, Stan Carnathan, Garrett Johnston, Tim Schofield, Mike Coach, the top 10. Field still working the back straightaway. Agonizingly slow under yellow flag conditions. Now here we go. They're working off turn 4 here. Wait for the iRacing pace car to go hard left down the pit lane here. We'll take the green flag. Get another restart in the books. Our first restart of the season.
Green flag.
In the throttle they go. Kevin McCann with the early jump. Brian's going to tuck right in underneath, almost like they planned it. Ryan Honeycutt tucks in behind the 3s. He's working to turn number 1. Field already spread out pretty significantly. Got some distinct groups starting to form up. Racing action continues up at the front here. Kevin McCann, Brian McCann, the 33 and the 3 on the bottom. Both drivers slide up half a lane just a bit. Just, again, due to those bumps. Out of turn 4, hard to keep that car pinned to the bottom, especially if you're used to the current configuration, the current layout here at Daytona. Honeycutt get a nose out in front here. He's going to lead this lap for the time being. McCann's squared goes to the bottom here. They get the push back to the lead. Kevin McCann just about clear the 18, but he's going to stick with the 3 of Brian McCann out of turn number 2. He's got better numbers on the bottom right now, but topside, those 3, that trio there on the outside, the 18, the 2, and the 55, a little bit more organization between those 3. And then you've got the 00. Mike Coach coming up into the mix as well. Again, you see it happening over and over again. The cars can't keep them pinned down to the bottom. That's going to continue to be an issue, I think, until these guys figure out how to make that turn number 4 work. Quick slides up half a lane just a bit. The 55 of Jeff No also does the same. They still stay tucked in tight together. Kevin McCann with the race lead. Brian McCann a couple of feet maybe off the back bumper. Possibly a little push here down the backstretch into turn 3. McCann back to the point just by a nose. The 18 of Honeycutt going to try and mount the charge. Neil Quick to his back bumper. Was going to give him a push there. They couldn't get lined out. Right on board with Neil Quick. Driver's eye camera. This is about as close as it gets, folks, to what it looks like to drive one of these race cars. Neil Quick running in that high lane, second car topside, and you can really see the bumps that he's having to fight through turns 3 and 4. Run on it too. Maybe a little push here. Got to get square. See, That can really be the issue if you're trying to give the guy ahead of you just a bit of a push, get him moving towards the front. That's okay. It's difficult to do in this body style. I know in the older ARCA car, before one of the updates, you could not push at all. Now with the newest update, including the Gen 4 Cup car, which is the same body style, you can give a push to the guy in front of you, but you got to time it well. You can't be off center. You got to be square on the guy. Otherwise, you're going to turn him up or down the racetrack, and that doesn't end well for anybody. But if you can master it, there is positions to be gained. Continue to watch this battle for the top spot. Honeycutt and Kevin McCann going back and forth, kind of seesawing down the backstretch. Back into turn 3. Neil Quick way up the racetrack for a minute. Keeps it off the wall. Keeps it in the throttle. Got to hand it to these guys. I know we're only about 14 laps in here, at least approaching that. Big bump from Brian McCann. That was a pretty aggressive push to brother Kevin. These guys have done a great job keeping it together, keeping everything under the green flag. Again, it is very early here at the Speedway. Again, 80 laps the race distance. Not much has changed here in the top 5. It's Kevin McCann on the bottom, Honeycutt up top, Brian McCann third, Neil Quick fourth, but by just inches. That changes up about 10 times a lap. Oh, Kevin McCann slides up a bit, almost contact with Ryan Honeycutt. Puts some left wheel in it, stays off the door of the 18. Still has the drafting partner with the 3 in behind. The 83 of Brandon Mefford closing in on Brian McCann. Then it's the 82, Stan Carnathan in behind him as well. McCann edging out towards the front. The 18 of Honeycutt trying to side draft just a bit to kind of slow that momentum, but it's hard to make the side draft work that well when you've got so many pushers in behind. Both lanes relatively equal though, 4-car draft on each lane. That does kind of change from lap to lap. It's all about being organized and having the numbers. You got to have both. You can have 10 cars all lined up on the inside, but if they're not nose to tail, pretty much within inches from one bumper to the other, it's not going to be all that effective versus maybe a 5-car draft. It's not quite tandem, but right on top of everybody, you can really get that line to move if you can manage that. Again, it's early, only 16 laps in. You may see that present itself later on in the race. Oh, things getting a little hairy in behind. 5 of Chris Wally might have got a piece of the outside wall on a turn 4. Correction, Wally's in the 51. The 5's Trevor Quick. Wally's up in the 7th spot. Big mover so far, though. Chris Wally up 19 spots this point in the race. Already, again, only 17 laps in. He's getting more than a position per lap. Talk about a guy that can race on these restrictor plate super speedway style tracks as the 00 changes lanes. Chris Wally in the Spartan Transportation number 51. This whole field is formed up 2 by 2. It gets a high-speed pace lap as they work turn 3. Handful of cars way off the pace. I don't know if something happened back with that second pack, but they're about a quarter of a lap behind this lead group. Here's the lead pack going by right now. And you don't even see those other cars coming into frame. You may see it here. There's one car all by itself, and then a couple more cars. There's 5, 6 drafting up there out of turn 2. Curious what has happened there to put those guys so far in the back. Aaron Smith, the tail of the field, and unfortunately he is 3 laps down. I don't know if he's lost connection or what the situation is for the 70. Usually pretty fast just about everywhere that we go. Very unlike seeing him here at the back of the field. Again, this pack kind of all over the place right now. They've got to get lined out here. They can just ride. Again, we're 20 laps in already out of 80. It's clicked off in a hurry. These guys really need to get organized, get single file and tight to each bumper. If they can do that, they may have a shot to catch that lead pack. It's going to take some time. The way they're running right now, it's just not going to happen. Lead pack is running side by side. The cautions on the Speedway. Garrett Johnson possibly in trouble, hard to say. Sure what has triggered this, but we'll get a look at it hopefully here in just a moment. Doesn't look like it was Cook quick. Get Cook involved in our first caution of the day. Well, let's take a look at it. We're watching Cook quick here, but I don't think anything happened in this instance. Let's check Garrett Johnston. It looks like he might have been trying to get to pit lane here. Maybe we'll get some more information out of this. See, the pace car's already pulling off there. I'm not really sure what has triggered this. There may be stages involved here. I wasn't made privy of that, but it could be the case. Nevertheless, pit road is open and we've got takers. Neil Quick is going to come down the pits first over the 18 of Ryan Honeycutt, but it looks like everybody is going to come down. Likely to take tires. There's only 2 sets over the wall, but a 65% fuel load. Neil Quick has to back it up just a hair. He's going fuel only for sure. Kevin McCann's taking some tires. And Neil Quick's going to win the race off of pit road. Zach Roethlisberger's going to roll P2. Jeff No gets out 3rd. Jayden Hopp 4th. Brian McCann 5th. So with that, we're going to step aside to get a break out of the way while we've got this caution. We'll be back after this.
I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop-lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens UMP Modified and Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws Late Model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook. Back at Daytona just in time for our second restart of the afternoon. Pace car about to pull off.
Green, green, green.
Real quick leads him down in the throttle. Good jump for the outside machine is Zach Roethlisberger. Guys can maintain the track position with the older tires. They went fuel only on the stop. That was the case for at least our top three of Roethlisberger, Quick, and Hop. A handful of drivers doing the same, but it seems that most of the drivers, well, I'd say it's about 50-50. Did tires, some did fuel only. We'll see how that plays out. And tires are premium here this afternoon as only 2 sets available over the wall. Roethlisberger out in front. He has Quick clear. Stays up in front of the 4. Likes the outside for now. The 4 of Jaden Hop. One driver taking a peek to the outside. Could it be Chris Wally? I think it might be the 51. Takes a look to the outside. No help. Wally with the 5 of Trevor Quick. Just too far off the back bumper to give him the push. Oh, a little slip there in that second row. That was the 55 of Jeff No coming up the racetrack just a bit. Did not make any contact with any of the drivers. No, somebody way out of line. It is the 55 once again. Jeff No having the trouble off turn number 2. He's going to jump down to the apron here. May even just choose to go to the back after that little slip up. And we're not halfway just yet. There's still plenty of time to work your way back towards the front. But some of these guys that took tires, or did not take tires for that matter, might be regretting that decision. They've certainly got their hands full here at the front of the field, though it's working for now. Roethlisberger and Quick, the top two. Imagine as long as you got clean air on the nose, that's going to be the biggest advantage if you didn't take any fresh rubber. Out of turn number 2 once again, down the backstretch. You got some guys peeking to the bottom here, maybe just trying to get some fresh air on the nose of those machines, trying to keep the engines cool. Roethlisberger and Quick still your leaders. Top 4 kind of under a blanket out of turn number 2. Rest of the field, luckily for some of the drivers, we got that yellow. They were able to get caught up. Drivers near the tail of the field at the beginning or prior to that caution coming out. Aaron Smith, one of those drivers at the back of the pack. He was 3 laps down, was lucky enough to get one of those laps back. Needs a couple more cautions to get himself back on the lead lap. Might be in the hunt for this thing, but back at the stripe. Roethlisberger still with the lead. Again, can clear the 2 of Quick and drop down if he so chooses, but opts not to. Oh, Chris Wally gets into the 4. We got a wreck off of turn number 2. Neil Quick goes to the point, but we've got trouble. Big time trouble. Car's still wrecking down the backstretch out of turn number 2. Multiple drivers involved in this one. Larry Bruner's starting to drive away. Again, Chris Wally looks like he might have been the one to tip this one off. Made some contact with the 4. Heavily damaged is the 51 here 30 laps in. Well, let's get a look, see what happened. A little late in it. Let's back it up a little further. So you see the 51, top lane, third car in line in that top lane, gets into the back of the 4. He was trying to go to the outside, just didn't quite time it perfect enough. He's going to clip the 4, Jaden Hopp. Now Hopp's going to come down, clip the 82. Just talk about domino effect. Chain reaction crash. The 93 of Roethlisberger goes around. You're going to see the field's going to really come through and pile into this. 81 of Josh Funkhauser gets in there. Brandon Mefford. Wally goes on his side. Does he go all the way over? He does. Big time wreck here at Daytona. Let's watch it full speed. Big time hit for Chris Wally. Well, Wally's used his fast repair. Lucky for him, he did still have one. Many drivers likely going to be in the same boat. 88 freshly repaired. Mike Coach freshly repaired. Some drivers who opted to take fuel only on the previous pit stop, previous yellow, decided now is the time. Come down and take tires. Neil Quick did just that. But really, Neil did a good job here because well, I don't know, maybe he just topped off because it was only a 6-second stop. It might have been just for more fuel, and he was still one of the first guys out. John Osborne, the first off of pit lane. Mike McDonald stays on the racetrack, does not pit this time, so he's going to inherit the top spot. Pace car lights go out, so that means we're on to 1 to go. We'll get the green flag the next time by. Lap 32 up on the board. Look at our top 10 before we go back to racing here at Daytona. Mike McDonald, John Osborne, Neil Quick, Trevor Quick, William Tyndall, the top 5, then Doug Thomas, Garrett Johnston, Doug Wysocki, Larry Bruner, and Cook Quick, the top 10. Other notables, Brian McCann, Kevin McCann, early leaders here back in 17th and 18th positions. Zach Roethlisberger back in the 20th spot after being involved in that incident while running in the 2nd position. Out of turn number 2. And looks like Doug Thomas, I don't know if he's out of fuel, if he's just dropping to the back on this restart. We'll give it another go here. Pace car about to take the hard left down pit lane once again. Mike McDonald's going to lead him down.
Green flag.
Green flag back in the air. McDonald with a good jump. Neil Quick in behind. 62 of William Tyndall going to close in as well. Outside line did not get a good restart. Takes some time to get these cars back up to full song. First glance, they look awful slick. But if you guys remember back in the early 2000s, they ran those wickers on the roof and the rear spoiler, trying to create more drag behind these cars to build a better draft. If you look closely here, you might be able to see them on the roof line just behind that little disc on the roof there, the onboard camera for the roof cam. There's a little wicker. There's also one on the rear spoiler. You might be able to see it depending on what kind of screen you're looking at. That builds a lot more drag on these race cars and creates a significant draft effect or slipstream behind the race car, so it helps the guys that are trying to close the gap get a big run. But it also creates a lot of drag and slows these cars down in the restart. It takes at least a whole lap to get them up to full song. the stripe. Neil Quick leads it, I think. It's hard to say. It was a close one. Quick with the nose out in front for now, but McDonald battling back on the bottom. Quick's got the 44, John Osborne giving him a push. Drafting not the greatest up in the top line, and the 62 hits the bump and slides up the track, almost making contact, avoids that. Checking back with Chris Wally after that incident. He's back into the top 10, at least for now, battling for that position. Brian McCann and Kevin McCann further back in the pack, running 14th and 15th. And Aaron Smith just behind them, but he is now one lap down, so caution's working in the 70's favor here. McDonald still with the lead, but again, it's by a very narrow margin. The 16 just keeps inching that nose out in front. The 62 of William Tyndall trying to give the 16 that push, but I don't know how much help you're going to need to really complete a full pass. We saw it in the run previous where the driver on the high side was able to get out in front. See Neil Quick doing it right there, but I don't know if he was trying to get down in front of the 16 or if he just was planning on staying topside. We saw topside kind of be the place to be for at least a little while. Many opportunities to come down into the low lane, and drivers opted not to do it. Closest battle on the racetrack really is for the top spot. No one's pushing the issue too hard at this point. John Osborne in behind Neil Quick, though. I don't know how familiar these two are with each other and how well the 44 can draft up to the two of Neil Quick. They may know each other quite well. It just remains to be seen. But there it is. There's a good push, a contact, bumper-to-bumper push into turns 3 and 4. Osborne did a good job to get Quick just the nose out in front, but he stays up the racetrack, at least in the middle lane. Now, really, that could just be a matter of, okay, I trust this guy that's in behind me, or I just prefer to have the outside lane versus being on the bottom. I know traditionally, at least in my experience, I always like to be on the bottom, kind of hug that yellow line the whole way around the racetrack. As long as you don't open the door, you might be okay. But we have seen a couple of times here tonight that the outside line is able to build a run and make the pass enough to clear and come down, but multiple times they're opting to stay topside. The sun comes back out. That's going to change the track temperature here. Guys have their hands full already on this older surface here at Daytona. 62 machine and William Tyndall just having all sorts of trouble trying to keep right on that back bumper of the 16 of McDonald. Probably not going to see a physical push out of the 62. See these cars bottoming out in the corner. Sparks coming off the 16 at a minimum. He exited turn number 2. And we talk about McDonald and the 62 of Tyndall. Tyndall not likely to give the 16 a physical push. Oh, and he slides up the racetrack again, almost making contact with Osborne. That's really the reason why he's having a difficult time staying attached to the 16 of McDonald. You just have to worry if he's going to try and give that car a push. If he has to make an adjustment as far as where he is on the racetrack while he's making contact with McDonald, it's going to spell a disaster for just about everybody in the field. Just got to be careful out here at the front of the field. You can't risk a big mistake because they're all going to barrel in. We do have 2 distinct packs starting to form up, though. Real quick, thought about going to the bottom. I think Osborne was trying to stick to the back bumper. They got lucky they didn't turn each other there. The 62 slides up again. That bump is treacherous. And the 47 starting to slide up. I think he was just trying to stay low. Doug Thomas, we saw him drop to the back on the restart. I don't know what the reasoning for that was, but he lost the draft. Now he's gone a lap down. Almost a disaster there as the 47 came up the racetrack almost into the leaders, creating a 3-wide situation that nobody was expecting. Back to the McCann brothers. Brian now in the 17th position, Kevin 18th. I don't know if this is strategy based as these guys are planning to be out towards the back here. We are past halfway, lap 45. Lap 40 was our halfway point, of course. I wonder if these guys are just waiting for the carnage to unfold. Get that big one out of the way. Hopefully they don't end up in it and then decide to go push the go button here and work their way towards the front. Back out front, though, things still hot and heavy, very close quarters. Position-wise, not much has changed. You've got relatively equal numbers, top to bottom. They're all pretty well organized. Makes things awfully difficult to complete a pass in any way, shape, or form unless you really try to hang somebody out to dry. Slides up just a bit, pulls it back down to the bottom. Osborne the 62, sorry, Tyndall the 62. Garrett Johnson, the number 32 machine, he runs 5th with the 3rd car in line on the bottom. Tyndall all over the back bumper, and McDonald off of turn 4. He was right there. I don't know if he was pushing him or not. If they were, he did a great job hanging on to her. One car leaving the pit lane. That was Matt Kopp coming back out of the racetrack, the number 22 machine. He's been in the pits for a while. I don't know if he burned a fast repair early on or didn't have it checked and got stuck there with a lot of required. Oh, you can cover a blanket with the top 5, at least maybe even the top 6 out of turn number 4. McDonald still with it. Quick noses out in front. Coming to the stripe. Lap 48. Quick, the number 23's worked himself up into the 6th position. Now working on the 5th spot. Slow car to the outside. Guys are doing an unbelievable job here. Close quarters racing here at Daytona on a very difficult circuit. Very difficult layout with all the bumps in these corners, plus a race car with a ton of power. Not a whole lot of handling to speak of. Approach lap 50. Tyndall doing a good job pushing the 16 now into turn number 3. Laps in here at Daytona International, race 1 of the IROC Challenge Series. We're going to go HBR TV or IROC TV side by side. Stay with us, you won't miss a minute of the action. We'll be right back.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Daytona International Speedway, working the caution once again. Take a look, see what we can come up with here as far as what put us under the yellow. Certainly an incident on the Speedway. Multiple cars once again. We've already had one big one. Looks like we've had another. Hard to pinpoint what really triggered it. Try to back this up frame by frame here and see. Was Neil Quick in trouble? .44 gets to him mid-corner, tries to give him a push. You really can't push with these cars in the corners, and it sends the two into McDonald, and then it slows the momentum of Neil Quick in front of traffic. We talked about this being a possibility early on. Chris Wally involved in it again. See if Chris is able to avoid contact with that inside wall. He doesn't have a fast repair to rely on. Does get pretty good impact there. So many drivers making pit stops here. Just started lap 53. We are on the 1 to go, so restart coming lap 54. Top 10 rundown here looks like John Osborne, Kevin and Brian McCann, your top 3. Zach Roethlisberger 4th, William Tyndall, Michael McDonald, Tim Schofield, Jaden Hopp, Larry Bruner, Brandon Mefford. In various order within the top 10. Here we go, 2x2 once again down the backstretch, about a half a lap away from another green flag. So with all that, we've talked about Aaron Smith a bunch here tonight. He's currently 21st, but he is finally back on the lead lap. Remember, at the start of this race, he was 3 laps down, but through the cycle of cautions, he's been lucky enough to get that lucky dog, get himself back in contention here. Aaron in the number 70 machine.
Not going.
Gonna wave it off here one more time to get back to green. Field still trying to get formed up 2x2, trying to make sure we got the order right as well. Gonna go one more lap. In fact, some drivers gonna peel off, take advantage of that, top off the tanks. But we're gonna jump out, we're gonna take advantage too. Get another break out of the way, we'll be right back. Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop-lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics, LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens, UMP Modified and Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws Late Model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook.
R&R Racewear, your source to all custom racewear apparel needs, and home to iRacing apparel. Check it out today at rnrracewear.com.
Checkered flag. Contact and Brian Rose wins it. A photo finish at the line. Oh, we got a wreck. Will Hewitt's through the trial for the final time, and oh, they're wrecking. Big trouble. Vincent Short sneaks through, and I think Short Back at Daytona International Speedway, still working our fourth caution here, getting ready to go back to the green flag. Field is in turns 3 and 4. Just waiting for the iRacing pace car to pull down pit lane and for Barney to wave that green flag. His car is off.
Green flag.
And green flag waves. We're back racing from Daytona. Osborne in the throttle. Kevin McCann to the outside. Brother Brian McCann to his left elbow. Osborne goes up the racetrack, opens the door for Brian. They're not even up to speed yet. Draft isn't going to come into play too much until they get to the end of the back straightaway. Osborne was trying to make a decision. What lane do I want? He goes back to the bottom in front of Brian McCann. Leaves Kevin without any drafting help, at least out front. But the 93 of Roethlisberger is going to pull into the back bumper of the 33. Maybe give him a push down the backstretch. Tyndall slides up the track just again, still stays off the machine in the top lane. Back to the stripe. Osborne leads it for now. McCann now with the nose out in front. Headed into turn number 1. Roethlisberger there. The 16 of McDonald in the third position in the high lane. Overall, finished running in P6. Tim Schofield in the 12, he runs 7th. Four laps to go here from Daytona. John Osborne out in front. Brian McCann, Kevin McCann, the top 3. Osborne still blocking that low lane. We've seen the outside lane be very preferred as of late, but now maybe that's switching up as the 44 continues to keep it on the bottom. Had an option to change lanes on the restart. Went topside for just a moment, but quickly changed his mind. Dropped to the bottom in front of Brian McCann. Still seems kind of indecisive there, even though he is leading this race out of turn number 2. Brian McCann giving the 44 a big push down the back straight. Keep seeing that number 62 slide up the racetrack and almost contact with the 44 and the 3 of Brian McCann. Osborne forces McCann to the bottom, but it opens the door for Kevin McCann up topside. We're 3 wide for the moment. Out front for the lead, the 62 giving Kevin McCann a push up the middle. Which way will he go? Will they keep it off the doors? Oh, real loose is the 44, and he gathers it up. Great save. He's going to lose the lead, but he's going to live to fight another day. He had that thing all crossed up. Got it down to the apron. Reminds me of Kyle Busch back in the day. Kevin McCann now with the race lead, but the bottom line is trucking, and look who's there. It's the 70 of Aaron Smith, a nose into the 3rd spot already. He was 3 laps down at the beginning stages of this race. Quietly took care of his stuff, waited for those cautions to fall as he probably expected that to happen. Finds himself on the lead lap here, solidly in the top 5 with 21 laps to go. The 62 is making me nervous. Tyndall slides up the racetrack mid-corner again. It's frequent enough that I'm wondering if he's trying to side draft. It might even be intentional. Maybe it's not the bumps. of Tyndall goes to the point with the push from the 70 of Aaron Smith. Now the decision, does he stay to the bottom with Aaron Smith pushing, or does he go up top and let Kevin McCann help him draft? I think you got to stick to what got you there right now. With Aaron Smith on your back bumper, you really can't go wrong until he decides that he wants your spot. But if you go topside, you're pretty much telling him to go by you. I think it's a smart move for Tyndall to stay on the bottom, at least for the time being. McCann, a nose out in front, but he's lost his drafting partner for a moment. He's going to draft up. That's the 93 of Roethlisberger once again. Back to the stripe, at the stripe. Tyndall's going to lead it. Once again, we've got two different packs formed up here at Daytona. A pretty considerable lead pack. And then a smaller secondary pack in behind. One car way up the racetrack might have scraped the wall, stays off it, gets the wall again, straightens it back out. That's the 51 of Chris Wally. He did a good job hanging on to her. Unfortunately for Wally, though, he's going to slip back. Currently in the 13th position, but with that said, he's up 13 spots even still from where he started today. Trevor Quick just in behind Wally. Jeff Noe in the 55. He was a front runner for a time early today. More action out front. Kevin McCann. And now Aaron Smith on the attack. Takes the top spot from the 62 of Tyndall. Smith to the point. The 4 of Jaden Hopp follows him through, and the 44 of John Osborne is going to come into the picture as well. Oh, we got trouble off of turn 4. The 16 of McDonald in the fence. Kevin McCann gets a piece. So does the 18 of Ryan Honeycutt. They both slide through the grass. Our 5th caution of the afternoon. Now the good news for Kevin McCann, if he can make it back around and stay on the lead lap, pretty sure he still has a fast repair at his disposal. Well, let's try and get a look, see what happened here out of turn 4. It was 4 wide. Honeycutt the 18. It was the 82 machine. Stan Carnathan. Just not enough room to make that one work. Carnathan slides up, gets into Honeycutt, which gets into McDonald, which gets into McCann. Again, you can kind of get away with 4 wide at a place like Talladega. You almost always end up in this situation if it happens here at Daytona, as you see these guys. One guy slides up off the bottom, and the guys that are 3 up top, it's just they've got no option, nowhere to go at that point. You're along for the ride. So Kevin McCann, a beaten and battered number 33 Chevrolet. He's going to come down pit lane here, likely burn a fast repair. I don't know if he's got tires remaining over the wall, but if he does, now is the time. There it is, fast repair used. Car looks good as new now. Kevin McCann down and away. Looking at your race leader, he couldn't have been further from the lead at the beginning stages of this race. He was running last, 3 laps down, and after the cautions and some lucky dogs, he's at the point, up 18 spots from where he qualified. Aaron Smith, your race leader. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC series, Kyle Steffens UMP Modified and Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws late model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook.
R&R Racewear, your source to all custom racewear apparel needs, and home to iRacing apparel. Check it out today at rnrracewear.com.
Checkered flag. Contact and Brian Rose wins it. A photo finish at the line. Oh, we got a wreck. Will Hewitt's through the trial for the final time, and oh, they're wrecking. Big trouble. Vincent Short sneaks through, and I think Short. Back at Daytona once again, wrapping up caution number 5. Coming to 14 laps to go to settle it here at Daytona. Hopefully we can make it a clean one. Aaron Smith going to restart on the outside. The 4 of Jaden Hopp to his inside. Row 2, it's John Osborne and William Tyndall. These cars down, green in the air. We're back racing once again. Good restart for the 62. Gives the 4 a big push at the stripe. Right now, I really don't think they're going to make it back to that final lap without another wreck. We'll see. They're still formed up awful tight here. Aaron Smith to the outside in the second spot. Osborne half a car in front through turns 1 and 2 down the backstretch. Right on board here with Jaden Hopp. Again, you can really see how violent this racetrack is, how bumpy it is. Very difficult to keep a handle on the race car, but Hopp gets a run out of 4. Smith gets a big run to the outside of Osborne. He wants to lead back. to give these guys credit. I cannot imagine how difficult it is to run here. And it's a close quarters battle there. Neil Quick, maybe some contact. Oh, and around goes the 51 of Wally once again. He is in trouble for a third time today. Caution on the Speedway. Sixth time this afternoon. Saw that one starting to form there. I think it was Neil Quick. Might have gotten into the 51. We'll have to go back and look at it. Yep, we'll rewind it a bit. Right now it does look like it went off the nose of the two. Now it looks like Wally's already out of shape. Go back a little bit further here. Again, we saw Neil Quick trying to go up the middle there for a brief moment. The 12 may have come down. Try and get a good camera angle on it. It's coming into the tri-oval. Get the red machine up top. I think that's the 55. Then Neil Quick in between. No, that's the 18 of Honeycutt. 12 machine comes down. That's Timmy Schofield. Sends Quick to the bottom, and it also sends Wally to the bottom, but Wally gets down on the flat, over-rotates a bit, loses the rear end of the car, can't keep it square, gets the left side in the grass trying to save it. He does a great job just trying to hang on to her. And I think Neil Quick avoids contact with a 51, but yeah, he spins down into the grass. Luckily for the 51, though, no contact with anything. Tough first race of the season for the 51. He's been involved in a few of these here this afternoon. Mike McDonald's going to take the opportunity to hit pit lane here. I don't know if he's got an extra set of tires remaining or what his story is. Certainly some damage on that machine. Don't know what's triggered that. Could have been pre-existing. Maybe burned a faster pair early. We'll see. Maybe he's lucky enough to have an extra hanging around. Now just topping off for fuel. Chris Wally looks like he's doing the same, making sure everything's good. So your leader is John Osborne at lap 71. He's been a contender here at the front of the field a lot this evening. Could get this one to go signal next time by. That would be lap 72, which would put us at lap 73 for the restart. Give us 8 laps to conclude it, if you count that restart lap. Trying to follow up here on the stream chat. There's only a couple of you. Do it a little bit differently here with the IROC series as far as how we do the stream, and it's really it's my bad here for not checking that stream chat. Rough night for a few. Love the number 4. We had that S4 guy jumping in as well, saying HBR TV sitting at 596 subscribers. 4 more to the big 6. He means 600, folks. Glad he brought it up. I noticed it myself earlier today. If you guys could jump over there, if you're not already a subscriber of HBR TV on YouTube, that's youtube.com/@HBR TV and the number 1. Give us a like, a follow, and a share, and a subscribe. That would be huge. We really do appreciate that. We got our repeat 1975. McCanns are very strong and can never be counted out. That is 100% the truth. Same goes for the 70 of Aaron Smith. You want to talk about overcoming adversity. He was 3 laps down earlier on today. Now he's running 3rd. So just a handful plus laps to settle it here at Daytona. John Osborne appearing to be the race leader here. He's going to opt for the inside lane. Repeat 75 says Aaron was very strong in season 6 as well. He's been strong in everything and everything. I remember I ran an IROC Challenge Truck Series. It was just a 6-race season to make the main IROC series. Aaron kicked our behinds quite a bit. He was in that with us. I thought we were good to go with the road course side of things, but no, Aaron's fast there as well. So not really a weak point for the number 70. Coming to 7 laps to go. Pace car lights are off, about to hit pit lane, and we're going to see that green flag. Maybe, just maybe, we make it to the finish without any chaos. It's Daytona, folks. I don't know. We'll see. Green flag in the air. We're back racing. Hop gets a nose out in front on the initial jump. Again, it takes at least a full lap to really get these cars wound out full song. Off turn number 2. Osborne with the lead. Hop on the outside. A big push from the 62 of Tyndall. And oh, we got trouble. The leaders are spinning and wrecking off the start-finish line. The Ford gets through without contact with the wall, but Osborne gets a huge piece of that unprotected barrier. Some drivers still sliding after the fact. The 88 machine. Jason Nile just trying to get back running here, trying to stay ahead of this pace car. That is John Osborne. He better hustle here. I don't know how much damage he has, but here we are. 7th caution of the afternoon. It was with 6 laps to go, right at start finish. You saw it happen there live. Well, let's get a look. See what happened. Ford gets turned off the nose of Tyndall into the 44 of Osborne, and both cars go for a ride. Jaden Hop, a little bit of left front damage. That's not going to be ideal in the draft. Yeah, there it is. You can see it clear as day. Just an ill-timed push. Tried to get to him just exiting the tri-oval there, but was off-center to the right side, and it's very simple, very easy to turn these cars around when that happens. They're touchy cars to push with in general. It can be done, but, man, it's tough to do it in a corner. There you have it. Caution number 7. Coming late here at Daytona. Repeat 75 says, love the way these Gen 4s sound. Fred Anderson asking, happy? I mean, me personally, yeah, I'm a happy guy. I feel there's more to the story. Oh, I got it. He liked it. That S4 guy. And those of you that don't know that S4 guy, it's Zach Millett. It's one thing we haven't seen Zach Millett try is the IROC series. He's had pretty good success over the Noble Racing League. racing series for that matter. But Osborne down and away, no fast repair for the 44s, and that's going to pretty much throw away his chances at a W here tonight. Tyndall's your race leader. Now, we talked about he had some difficulties tonight holding the line on the bottom lane. Now, as it was a frequent thing, it was almost every lap. I'm starting to wonder, and we mentioned this previously, if it was just him trying to side draft. Very well could have been the case. But if it's not the case, and he's going to restart here on the bottom, if he chooses the bottom, will he be able to maintain that low lane? If he doesn't, he's going to open the door for the driver in behind. And it's full send mode now. We're coming to 3 laps to go. That could be the one to go. We could get, I don't know if we're going to go overtime or not. Not with this caution necessarily. There are 3 opportunities to go green, white, checkered if needed, but we may get a natural green, white, checkered. Just have to see how this one pans out. So I think this does officially put us into green, white, checkered territory. But I think it's a natural green, white, checker. Looking at, we're on lap 77 and a quarter here. We're going to get the restart at 78, so that's 78, 79, 80. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. It's crunch time, guys. It's time to go. And you got a fast number 18, Ryan Honeycutt, to the outside. He was out front here early on. He's quietly worked his way back up to the front row here at just the right time, too, because, as we said, it's full send time. Coming down to the checkered flag here in the next handful of laps, not even. We're going to have... well, it should be 2 to go when we get to the stripe. We'll see how they play this out here. Brian McCann still in that 3rd row, running in the 6th spot. Checking on Kevin McCann. Still looking clean and still not out of this thing. And we get some more cautions. He can pick up a couple of spots on the restart. Anything can happen. I think anybody on the lead lap has a shot here. We've seen so many crazy things here at Daytona happen. Well, let's try it again. Pace car is off. Honeycutt and Tyndall lead them down. Green flag in the air. Tyndall on the throttle. Good restart for the 62. Catches the 18 sleeping. Aaron Smith now to the inside. Oh, he's got to run off the start, though. He might give him a push or just go low. Gives him the push. So 2 laps to go out of turn number 2. It's side by side. The 62 of Tyndall and the 18 of Ryan Honeycutt. Tyndall sliding up the racetrack, keeping a close eye on the 18 of Honeycutt, knowing he's got Aaron Smith in behind. He does slide up the racetrack, and we got a spinner. The 55 is around. We stay under the green flag before the white. The white comes out, so we're not going to slow it down now. Final lap from Daytona. Honeycutt, Tyndall battling the turns 1 and 2, side by side. Aaron Smith, he slides at the track, makes contact with Honeycutt. Aaron Smith gets to the bottom. He's going to take advantage. 3 wide out of turn number 2, down the backstretch for the final time at Daytona. Another car off into the grass. The 44 gets back into the banking. Aaron Smith with the lead, and we got big trouble in turn 4. A huge, massive pile-up. This one is going to take out just about everybody but Aaron Smith as he rolls to a checkered flag and a win. 3 laps down to victory lane. Aaron Smith wins race number 1. And I don't even know what to say about this fiasco. These guys are still racing back to the line. Honeycutt takes second still. Then it's Osborne, still brings it home to a 3rd place. What did I say on the restart? Anybody on the lead lap has a shot at this. Aaron Smith was the only one to get through it clean. Unbelievable finish. Try and get a look at this one. This reminds me of that wreck where Tony Stewart was flipping over the whole field. That was at Talladega, but still. Aaron Smith celebrating here on the front stretch. Just goes to show, folks, never give up. To this point in the race, I still don't know what caused Aaron Smith to be down 3 laps. Maybe a connection issue, had to get back in the session. Maybe he joined late, I don't know. But man, he stuck with it, took advantage of the cautions and the lucky dogs, and here he is victorious here at Daytona. We're gonna step aside here, get our final break out of the way, get our top 3 finishers into the broadcast booth after this. Stay with us, folks. We'll be right back.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Racewear, your source to all custom racewear apparel needs, and home to iRacing apparel. Check it out today at rnrracewear.com.
Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens UMP Modified and Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws Late Model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook. Back at Daytona International Speedway, Aaron Smith, the winner of race number 1, the Daytona 200, the IROC Challenge Series. We're going to pull the driver, that number 70, up into the broadcast booth, get a word with our race winner, Aaron Smith. It's Steve in the HBR TV booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I've got you.
Aaron Smith, congratulations, man. A incredible run here at Daytona. The very definition of don't give up. 3 laps down early on in the race. Don't even know what caused that. I don't know if it was connection related or what, but the cautions fell. You got the lucky dog lap after lap, and all of a sudden, you're in that top 5 and fighting for a win, and you take the checkered flag, man. Tell us about your race.
Well, first of all, I didn't even think I was going to be able to start the race. I was running that E-Racer Firecracker 200, and then I got wrecked on the restart. So I was able to hop in here a couple laps down and got the cautions I needed, stayed out of all the wrecks, kept a clean car, got a little bit of right rear damage from a contact with the back marker earlier on in the race, but was able to make the most of it, drive up through the field, and stay away from all the wrecks that were around me. So I'm glad it all worked out.
You don't even sound tired.
No, I can go for another, 400 miles now?
Good Lord. Well, either way, it was an impressive run. In my opinion, at least, you really did kind of come out of nowhere. We didn't forget about you. We knew you were back there, but again, 3 laps down, we all but wrote you off early on in this race. But you played your cards right. They fell the way that they did, and you end up here with the checkered flag, so congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I'd like to thank all the folks at the IROC Challenge for having me this season and putting on another solid Daytona race. I'm looking forward to seeing what the rest of the season will look like, and I appreciate you broadcasting and all the folks watching. Looking forward to getting back at it wherever we are next week.
Well, speaking of the rest of the season, we're at the old school Atlanta layout next week, talking about chewing up tires. That's right in your wheelhouse. You looking forward to that one?
Absolutely. I love these cars, love how much horsepower they have, and I love how they don't have any grip at all at tracks like Atlanta. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that plays out, and hopefully I'll be back up here talking with you again.
All right, Aaron. Well, thanks for talking to us again. Congratulations and good luck next week.
All right, thank you.
Aaron Smith, your race winner here at Daytona. A masterful job to stick with it and work his way back to a checkered flag. Next up, we're going to pull Ryan Honeycutt into the broadcast booth, our runner-up. Ryan Honeycutt at Steve in the HBR TV booth. You got us?
Yeah, I got you.
Ryan, congratulations, man. Again, another second-place finish. You were down and out last week. I really thought you had a chance here tonight to win this one. Just came up one short after the chaos there on that final lap. But let's talk about your race here tonight at Daytona.
Well, I thought, I was just playing NR 2003. I was trying to see how many times I could go from last to first. So I probably got wrecked, caused a wreck, got wrecked. I don't even know, like 5 times, but all the time it was like a minute and 45 of optional, and with the new damage model I just fixed it all, and then I was just sitting at 3 wide all the way back to the field. I came from last to top 5 4 times. Well, 5 if you count the last lap. I went from last to second in a turn, but yeah, everyone just left the middle open, so I just drive to the field and be back up at the front every time.
Certainly an impressive run, so congratulations at that. But next week we get back to what some would call a real racetrack, the old Atlanta Motor Speedway. Certainly different style racing completely out of that facility. How do you feel about your chances next week?
Well, we'll have to see how we can keep the tires on it. So probably gonna be a top dominant racetrack as far as speed wise, but then some multi-groove will come in with people going to the bottom to save tires and everything. So we'll just have to see who plans out, how it plays out, and who has some tires at the end. With only 2 extra sets, it'll really be a strategy race. So hopefully we can guess on it right.
Take care of those tires, Ryan. Again, congratulations on P2 here tonight. We wish you the best of luck next week. Who do you want to shout out to?
Just Johnson Racing Media on YouTube for some real life racing vlogs, and all the people on those cars.
All right, Ryan. Well, thanks for talking to us, man. We'll talk to you next week.
Alrighty, I'll see you.
Ryan Honeycutt, your runner-up here at Daytona. And next up, I've been looking forward to this one. I want to talk to the driver of the 44. It's John Osborne and Steve in the HBR TV booth. You got us?
Yes, sir.
Let's tune you down here a little bit. Congratulations on a top 3 finish. We thought all was lost there. Unfortunately, you were right out front there. Less than 10 laps to go. You get turned off the tri-oval. Big impact in the barrier on the infield. You get some repairs made. You come back out, and then, well, everything went to hell there on that final lap, and you come out with a 3rd place finish. How did it look out the windshield of your machine?
I can't explain it, man. It was like that scene in Days of Thunder where Harry tells Cole to go high, and it's just a big smoke plume. That's how I felt there. I was like, oh my God, I don't know what to do here. I was like, well, I guess I'm just going to send it to the bottom and hope for the best. And man, I was on top of cars, inside cars, underneath cars. I think I actually went to the upside down for a second, if you're a Stranger Things fan. And then somehow I was backwards, and I was like, well, maybe I'll just put it in reverse and go. And then someone bumped me again and straightened me up. And I was like, well, I still got power. I'm going to put it in gear and go. And if you would have told me that I was going to cross that line in 3rd, I would have laughed. But wow.
Who's laughing now? You finished P3. You got a solid way to start the season off going into Atlanta Motor Speedway next week. Obviously, much different style of racing out at Atlanta. How do you feel about your chances there next week?
The Gen 4 cars were there on this old Atlanta, about a month and a half ago, or maybe a month ago. I had a really good week there. I feel very confident, actually. I really like this car a lot. It's very difficult to drive. It's got a lot of horsepower. Atlanta is very tough, very easy to get loose there. But yeah, I feel very good going there. I felt great here tonight. It was really hard to pass. I was mid-pack for a while, and I was like, I got to figure out how to get to the front and stay up there. And so that was my goal. And I got up there and was just hanging around the top 5. I think I led 11 laps. But I had a good car. I picked the bottom there on that last restart, which I hope is going to be the last restart, and have Aaron behind me. I'd rather him push me than try to pass me. So, but yeah, I feel good about next week. I had a fun time tonight. It's good to be in here on the IROC Challenge Series, and thank you guys for putting on a good broadcast.
Well, John, again, congratulations on that P3 finish. Again, we talked about Aaron Smith, about do not give up. He was 3 laps down to start this race, and he comes back to win it. You seem to be out of it, too, there late in the race, but you don't give up, and you came home P3. So nice job. Congratulations. Anyone else you want to shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, shout out my team, Eons Motorsports. They reached out and were seeing if I wanted to run in here, and I said yes. And so I really appreciate those guys. Want to thank Chris, who put my paint scheme together. I guess he did that for everybody with that lime yellow 44. I think my mom and dad as well. They're always watching. So appreciate you, mom and dad. Thank you, and thank you guys up here in the booth, man. Appreciate you, Steve. I don't know if I've ever run anything that you've broadcasted before, so hopefully you'll see me up here a good bit this season.
Well, we certainly got that out of the way. So again, congratulations. We got another one next week, and we look forward to it. Wish you the best of luck, man. Good talking to you.
I appreciate it, man. At least we gave you a show there on that last lap. That was wild, man. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that.
Yeah, that was a crazy one to watch for sure. Thanks for talking to us, John.
You got it, buddy. Have a good night.
Too. It's John Osborne, your 3rd place finisher here at Daytona. That's going to wrap it up for the interview portion. Let's take a look at the race results. Of course, we talked to Aaron Smith, Ryan Honeycutt, John Osborne. 4th place finisher was Tim Schofield. Neil Quick was 5th. Stan Carnathan was 6th. Doug Wysocki 7th. Josh Funkhauser 8th. Mike McDonald was 9th. 10th went to Garrett Johnston. Brandon Mefford in the 83 finishes the 11th spot. Brian McCann, after that massive wreck, finishes 12th. Zach Roethlisberger 13th. Jason Nilgus, still working on that one, even though he told me. Mike Coach 15th. Adam Johnson 16th. Trevor Quick 17th. Doug Thomas finishes in the 18th spot. 19th finisher was Jeff No. 20th went to William Tyndall. He was in contention for a win as well. unfortunately catching that wreck late. Chris Wally was 21st, Larry Bruner 22nd, Cook Quick 23rd, Kevin McCann 24th, Josh Braley was 25th, Jaden Hopp 26th, and Matt Kopp 27th, 6 laps down. Really the only car officially more than 1 lap down. Hopp was a minute and 9 back, not officially a lap down, just given how many cars were involved in that crash. But all in all, a great race here at Daytona International Speedway. Great way to start the season off. Again, as we talked about, Atlanta Motor Speedway next week. Make sure you tune in for that here. I'd say be ready about 9:15 in the East. We may not go live till about 9:25, but either way, you won't miss a minute of the action. We stream to multiple platforms, most notably, though, HBR TV on YouTube. That's youtube.com/@HBR TV and the number 1. Give us a like, a follow, a share, a subscribe. And again, we're only 3 shy of 600 followers. We really would appreciate a few more here before the day's out or even the week. But if you can do it, great. If you can't, well, that's okay. We'll still have you here next week for round number 2 at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Thanks for watching, everybody. Join us next week. We'll be here. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.